Hey guys, this is AI Survival, and today we will talk about money. Nowadays, we're all concerned about AI taking our jobs. But there is something out there, something that is not on our radar yet. However, that something is potentially even more important than jobs. I'm talking about money. AI is about to take our money, that's right, our savings, and in many cases, our homes too. We are all gradually accepting the inevitability of AI taking our jobs, making entire professions irrelevant and redundant. And not just in tech or coding. White collars are disappearing too. Lawyers, bankers, consultants, accountants, secretaries, and assistants. All creative professions. They're also about to join drivers and factory workers and call center operators, receptionists. Well, the list is endless. In the next 5 years, up to 30% of people will discover that their professions are about to get extinct. These will be no longer human professions. But this is just the tip of the iceberg. Let's do one step further. Let's get one step deeper and see what will happen after so many of us become unnecessary. Governments need money. They need money to maintain roads, to pay salaries to bureaucrats, to finance armies. But where do the governments get money from? If you live in the US or in one of the typical Western countries, your government gets almost 90% of its revenue by taxing individuals. Yes, you heard it right. 90% of the government revenue comes from people. From people, 30% of whom are about to be made by AI unnecessary. The total revenue of the American government is $5 trillion, and AI is about to take 1/3 of it, about $1.5 trillion. So how will the government pay salaries to bureaucrats, to police, to soldiers? Where will the government get the missing money from? This is a government's toolbox, and these are tools that government can use to fix the budget, to get back the money. Maybe it will tax corporates, like companies. Well, highly unlikely. Companies hate paying taxes, and they know how to how to optimize taxes. So they hire armies of lawyers and accountants doing just that. And this is why in the US, only 4% of government revenue comes from companies. 4%. But what's left? Where else can the government get the money from? Maybe taxes on, liquor. Indeed, just 100 years ago, 90% of the federal income came from taxing alcohol and tobacco. Is it going to work this time? Will it work? I have a vague feeling that it's not going to work. But in this case, where's the missing $1 trillion? Where's the missing money will come from? Maybe the government will borrow. Anybody who's following the ongoing drama around the US national debt probably knows the story. The US government has accumulated more than 36 trillion in debt. And there are two main camps of thought about it. Camp number one, here's what they say. The AI future will be so bright and the economy will grow so fast that we don't really have to worry about this 36 trillion of debt. So these are the optimists. And the camp number two says, hey, the interest rate on the debt is already huge and it's bigger than our defense budget. Soon the entire country will work just to pay the interest. And AI won't help us. It won't be big enough to save us. So these are the pessimists. So which side is right? The truth is, we don't know. We don't know because we've never been here. We've never been in this situation. It is possible that AI will cause such an enormous tectonic advancements in the economy that the old rules will no longer apply. But how do we estimate the chances of that happening? It is almost like we live inside the old joke, politically incorrect joke, where a blonde, when asked about the chances of meeting a dinosaur, answers 50-50. So it's either meet or not. The answer is, we don't know. It's 50-50. But what we can and definitely should do is prepare for the worst. Just as a side note, I personally believe that this worst case scenario is actually the most realistic one, the most likely one, just based on my overall understanding of the situation. So we definitely should prepare for it so it does not take us by surprise. Let's assume that 5 years from now, when AI comes and takes 1/3 of the government's revenue, the dinosaur walks in and the government is not able to replace the missing money by borrowing. The government is no longer able to borrow. So what happens then? Let's put ourselves into the government's shoes. AI has just taken 1/3 of our revenue. Borrowing is no longer easy. People no longer line up to lend us their hard-earned money. Moreover, now we have crowds of unemployed people asking for help. So what do? Well, we use the last tool left in our toolbox, the printing press. We print money. Inflation is a complex topic on its own. We had a separate video just about inflation right here. But what we are dealing with here is not just inflation. It's AI inflation. It's inflation that is pushed up by a brand new force, AI taking revenue away from the government. This is AI inflation, a new phenomenon that we have never seen in the past, in the pre-AI world. And now the most important part. What does this AI inflation mean for us, for each one of us, for regular people? Let's reverse this question. What are the worst things we, regular people, can do in the times of AI inflation? Number one, if we want to suffer from AI inflation, we want to owe money with variable interest. For example, about 3% of US households have variable mortgages with adjustable rates. Now, today, each month they pay roughly $2,200. But once AI inflation kicks in, this payment will become $4,000, maybe $5,000, maybe even $10,000. But guess what? Their salary is not going up, which means lost homes. AI will take their homes. In the US, we're talking probably around 5 million homes. But people in other countries, they are even more exposed. For example, here in Australia, almost all mortgages are variable. All mortgages are exposed to AI inflation. Imagine that. The second worst thing we can do in times of AI inflation is having savings invested in long-term fixed income bonds. Fixed income, by definition, means that your future income is fixed. It is like having $100 that will be paid to you 30 years from now. But when AI inflation kicks in, the present value of those $100 will drop, like a lot, like drastically. This is the power of long-term bonds. When interest rate changes just tiny bit, the value of the bond changes dramatically. For example, for a 30-year bond, an increase in interest rate just by 1 percentage point will erase 30% of the bond value. And not in some distant future, no. Right now. So what will happen when AI inflation will get to, let's say, 10%? Almost the entire value of those bonds will be wiped out. Because there are currently 135 trillion worth of bonds out there in the world. 135 trillion. And the majority of these bonds are owned by regular people, just like us. It's our pension plans, investment funds, our retirement funds, and the mutual funds invested in them on our behalf. So these are our bonds. And they are openly exposed to AI. AI is about to get them. It's AI inflation. So what do we do if we don't want to donate our homes and our life savings to AI? Well, three things. First, check your mortgage. Make sure that it has a fixed rate. Second, check your retirement plan, your 401k. Make sure that your savings are not invested in long-term bonds. And then finally, like this video, share this video, because AI survival works best when done together. See you on the other side. Oh guys, and one more thing, I almost forgot. If this is the kind of conversations that you enjoy, join us on our Discord channel. A link is in the description.